Thank you. Good evening, everyone. This is the September 16th Moscow City Council meeting, and I welcome you all. It's nice to see all of your smiling faces, especially you. I want to welcome you all here again. I want to tell you that I can sing in front of 800 people, and this is making me more nervous than anything I've ever done before. So I'm not going to use the gavel. You're all safe. But I will invite Drew Davis to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, please stand if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get started, I want to tell you I am Council President Gina Terusio. I'm sitting in for our mayor, who happens to be in Washington, D.C., meeting with our delegation out there. And we have a couple absences this evening, and they're all at another event. We're into that season now where events clash, and we end up with a lot of people pulled in a lot of directions. So first on the agenda is a collection of whereases. However, it is a very exciting set of whereases.
Do you want to sing it?
I'm not going to sing it. Thank you for the option, though. Yes. Okay. This is a proclamation for Fire Prevention Month. Whereas the city of Moscow, Idaho, is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting Moscow. And whereas the U.S. fire departments respond to an average of 350,000 home fires a year, according to the National Fire Protection Association, or NIFPA. And whereas U.S. home fires result in an average of 3,000 civilian deaths a year, representing the majority, 75% of all U.S. fire deaths. And whereas newer homes are built with lightweight materials that burn faster than older homes construction. And whereas many of today's products and furnishings produce toxic gases and smoke when burned, making it impossible to see and breathe within moments. And whereas these conditions contribute to a much smaller window of time for people to escape a home fire safely, with people having as little as 1 to 2 minutes to escape from the time the smoke alarm sounds. Think about that. And whereas Moscow's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And Moscow's residents are responsive to public education measures and are able to take personal steps to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas 2024 fire prevention theme smoke alarms, make them work for you, effectively serves to educate the public about the vital importance of educating everyone about working smoke alarms. How many of us take the batteries out because it's squawking at 2 a.m? Therefore, I, Gina Terusio, instead of Art Bedke, Mayor for the City of Moscow, do hereby proclaim October as Fire Prevention Month throughout the community, and I urge all citizens of Moscow to understand the importance of and benefits of installing and maintaining smoke alarms to promote public safety. Okay, would you come on up and I will shake your hand and thank you, and maybe you can say a few words for us.
Thank you, Madam President.
She's going to make us take a picture.
All right.
Let's open this up.
You did a good job.
Thank you. Whereas.
I think she missed a warehouse.
About my camera, sorry.
You weren't smiling?
Yes, I was the whole time.
Welcome to say a few words if you'd like to.
Very quick. Thank you, Madam President. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
And you all heard the important safety messages just in the few whereases. One of the most significant parts of my job is public education. It's the most fun that I ever have in my job. And it's most beneficial because if we can keep someone from first having an emergency, we've done our job. And then we know we can't prevent all emergencies. So when we have them, that we're prepared, and you're prepared in your homes before we get there. So that's what the name of fire prevention is for us. That's our goals. And so with that and with this, I just want to say we do this throughout the year. We do put a special emphasis in October.
Good.
And the way we kick off that October month with prevention is in conjunction with our volunteers that kick off with a pancake feed on the first Saturday of October in our downtown station. In conjunction with them doing their pancake feed, the city staff will have a fire prevention safety fair. Multiple agencies will be there. So come get some pancakes, learn more about fire safety, and then you can hang around for the U of I homecoming parade and support the vandals on the way out. So it'll be a fun time. So just invite everybody to that. Again, thank you so much for this.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're
Thank
reminding
you.
me I need to clean out my dryer vent.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I do have a smoke alarm hanging from,
Just England.
I'll admit it.
We'll fix that for you.
Yeah, thank you. I do have to say, we're up here kind of joking about the whole thing, but we are very spoiled here. You guys, our fire and our police keep us so safe. And I just really, really appreciate any chance we get to say that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, ready for the consent agenda? We're going to move forward into our consent agenda now, and these are mostly, or all of them are non-controversial topics. They were reviewed last Monday in front of the Public Works and Finance Committee. And go ahead.
I make a motion to approve.
A second.
Wow, you guys are making it hard. Okay, so the motion was to approve the consent agenda as presented, and we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. Bryce,
Aye.
Haley,
Aye.
Drew,
Aye.
and myself, I vote aye as well. Okay, that passes unanimously.
The recording of the Public Works and Finance meeting where these were heard is on YouTube, and I think it was about a 45-minute meeting, and so, yeah, all my questions were answered then, so. Watch on our YouTube channel if you're curious.
That is always kind of a good time, our YouTube. Okay, so we're going to move into, now there are no mayoral, say that fast 5 times, throw whereas in there. There are no mayoral appointments for this council meeting, but we will move into then our public comment period. And a couple things I want to remind you of. This is a 15-minute window. We will divide everybody, we'll divide that 15 minutes by 3 minutes apiece. When you come up, you have to tell us what your name is and the city of residence for you. And then none of the topics that you bring up can be on tonight's agenda. On the agenda that is going before Public Works,
Board of
Pla-
Adjustments,
Board of Adjustments,
Planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning. I'm
Yep.
thinking P. So again,
but also Public Works.
yeah, nothing on the agenda tonight. Nothing that's going before Planning and Zoning, and nothing that goes before the Board of Adjustment. Other than that, come up and give us your good words. We're really interested in what you have to say. I will keep an eye on the time. 15 minutes. Try to keep it to 3 if you can, please. Right on. Somebody understood what I said. Yay.
Hey, I'm Thomas Carpenter, 520 Troy Road, number 1. Some of you are familiar with my face. I'm here with my civics class. We've got some high schoolers, 7 students, and so we're here tonight for city council because we've been talking about local government. So just wanted to
Awesome.
let you
Well,
guys know, and we'll come up and shake your hands afterwards.
excellent.
It's a good field trip.
How many are there out there? Wave your hands. Wow. Hi, guys. Cool. Welcome. Welcome to the council meeting. Anybody else? Wow. Okay. Hello.
Hello, my name's Kent Salisbury. I'm a resident here in Moscow, Idaho.
Hey, Ken.
And I have a specific issue in mind that I've spoken of before.
Kent, will you step closer to the,
I
yeah,
have a
good.
specific issue in mind that I've spoken of before on 2 or more occasions
Mhm.
about some unwanted graffiti on a shed on the Paradise Creek Trail on the way out of town before you head up to the mobile station. There,
Okay.
right by the creek where the trail turns. I have some pictures that documented for you. And it's been there for over 2 years. Quite upsetting and inappropriate. The imagery is obviously
Oh, wow,
dark
yeah.
imagery, upsettingly wrongful meaning, and devil type of wrong items. If you would see that graffiti in the first place, you would take it down in 10 days or less. And that was a long time ago when I brought up the very same thing. I didn't have all the pictures and everything. The mayor was here 2 occasions previous. And, you know, I think the entire area would be better off. Even the trail health itself would recover from that type of low behavior that's present. It's not like some little kiddie play. Those are serious depictions there. If you want to try to analyze that for yourself, and I don't find it the least bit appropriate. I do apologize. In my past, I vandalized a mural on Jackson and A Street because I felt it had meaning with my sister's death. And there was a story about it in my life. And I learned about that mural. I tried to address those issues at city council. I mentioned that. I tried to work in contact with the city attorney, and I made, an error on my own doing that, but it was something I had to do, and it's all turned out for the best. I feel, just the same, that mural was inappropriate. I heard about this graffiti before and other things, and there's a larger legal context here for myself in Lake Tahoe County District Court and for the Idaho State Supreme Court that I'm working towards pursuing and finalizing an in for at this time. I think this graffiti is particularly indicative of some of what I would call an insult. It's very insulting. And as far as the lawful interests of my own, it's expressed that way on that shed as an insult and an anti-Idaho interest to try to berate the town members and their iniquity of getting anything done, or that we can only listen to throw our trash on the ground, and not pick it up on time, things like that. Just these little things, figure it out for ourselves that would certainly make a better place for ourselves as well.
Well, Mr. Salisbury, I appreciate you bringing the pictures. I do, and I will tell you, I'm not enthusiastic about these either. So I will tell you that I will ask some questions.
Sure.
And see what we can do. I agree with you.
And I'm just encountering working with the city council process for issue resolution for the first time. So I begun to write a letter to the mayor and
good.
Work that out further and contain some of this difficulty that I've had within my own lawful interest here in the state of Idaho and move forward on the greater importance of my own court lawsuit.
Excellent. Well, we appreciate mail a lot. We like that. So thank you.
Please.
Yeah.
For personal documents.
Yes.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you very
Take a
much
picture of the picture.
for your thoughts. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You said it's facing the bike path. I can see the bike path right there.
Right,
Okay.
That's underneath the Troy Highway.
Mr. Kimmel.
The RV storage.
Good evening, Madam President, council members, and staff. Paul Kimmel. I reside in Viola, Idaho, just up the road a little ways. And I'm here tonight to cordially invite you to attend our 21st annual Palouse Basin Water Summit. If some of you recall, this started in 2003 with Council Member John Kimberling, and I was a county commissioner. We were having trouble having good, productive conversations around water in this community and in the Palouse, and really the importance of that. So we committed to do this annual event where we would invite the communities to share about water and the importance of it. So over the years, I think we've moved the dial, although given a community like Pullman and Moscow, where we have this turnover in population, it's just important to continue it. So this year we have a return speaker, the author of this book, Your Water Footprint, Stephen Leahy. He is back again. It was 9 or 10 years ago when we had Stephen out. And since then, he's won some awards for his reporting and journalism, but really insightful guy, and we're excited to have him. The focus this year, of course, is around water conservation. And I will tell you, at the regional quarterly breakfast last week, we had some good news from all of our entities, our 4 major pumpers. There's a lot of good information, a lot of good things happening. But again, conservation isn't going to get us out of this, but it's certainly going to help us along the way. So again, I want to also thank you for your staff, both Tyler, Mike Parker, Gina serves on PBAC, and especially Kelly Cooper. Kelly has really stepped up to help on our Water Summit planning committee. So we are really grateful to have her in engagement and perspective as well. Again, I know Mayor Betke is back in DC, and I sent some information to the delegation regarding water issues. And in fact, Senator Cantwell's office reached out with some additional information today. So we're engaging with that federal delegation because, again, the supplemental additional water supply is not going to be inexpensive. So we're going to need federal partnerships as well. And I also want to just, again, thank Tyler. Tyler has really worked hard on the relationship we have with the tribe as well. And again, we've gotten good conversations and dialogue going with the Nez Perce tribe. They'll be at our summit as well. So again, but most excitingly, we'll also draw for another low flow toilet.
Hooray.
Because that's really what people come to the summit for, a free toilet.
We won one. We love our toilet.
It's good. And in fact, I think
It's a
it's
great
just
thing.
kind of standard. I think that's all you get anymore, but still.
It's still cool.
It's a draw for the summit, but again, thank you. You have the book. There'll be a quiz at the summit for you all as elected officials.
And Paul,
Will the results be posted in front of everybody?
Absolutely. We're not above shaming.
and Paul, just so it's on the record, date and time.
I'm sorry, October 1st, it's a Tuesday evening. Again, unfortunately, it's a Pullman City Council night, but it was the best I could do with our keynote. He comes out of Toronto. So it worked for him. So we'll make it work. We're at the Schweitzer Event Center. Doors open at 4:30, and we'll get the program going around 5 o'clock. So, and it's free.
Nice.
So
And it's free. I have to say, before you run away, this has been kind of the beginning of it for me, was this book and how it equates things like a cheese pizza is 333 gallons of water. You know, things like that you don't even think about. This really got kind of my wheels turning way back when.
see, I
so
thought I had to drink 333 gallons with my pizza.
that would be of wine, not
Oh, I
water.
forgot to read that.
Yeah, a little different there.
No, and one other exciting thing too, over at the Palouse Discovery Science Center,
Yeah.
we've got a new display. Some of you may have seen that in the media a week or so ago around the Palouse Basin Aquifer and really some of our cool infographics as well. So if you have a chance to get over to the Science Center, some really cool stuff going on over there. So again, thank you for your financial support, your moral support, and hope to see you at the summit.
Okay, one more time, October 1st. It's a Tuesday evening, starts at 4:30 over at the SEL Event Center. It is worth your time. I promise.
And free.
And free. Okay, are there any other members of the congregation tonight that would like to say anything? Okay. Okay, so item number 4 was the presentation of the mayor's golf tournament proceeds. The executive director of the receiving organization is sick, so we have to cancel that one. And the citizen commission report from the Farmers Market Commission, which was really going to be cool. The executive or the chair of that committee is sick too. So we're canceling that one too.
We're postponing.
Or postponing. Yeah, I mean, they'll come back definitely, but not tonight. So we are going to move ahead on to item number 6, which is our last item other than reports. The written decision regarding the appeal of a Board of Adjustment decision regarding 414 South Main Street. Mr. Belknap.
Thank you, Your Honor. On September 3rd, the council heard an appeal regarding a zoning administrator determination and subsequent zoning board of adjustment reversal regarding a proposed use for the property located at 414 South Main Street. During the council's consideration of the appeal on the 3rd, the council reversed the zoning board of adjustment's decision and directed staff to prepare the written decision to reflect the council's action. That written decision has been prepared, was in the packet for you, and is before you for your consideration and potential adoption. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions, council?
Oh, any questions?
I was just going to say it very succinctly sums up the, I was going to say ping pong nature of all the meetings that got us to this point. So if anyone's confused about what happened, I think it's a very clear read on how we arrived at what was drafted. And so kudos to the staff for making it easy to follow. So with that, I move sorry.
It's okay. That's all
I
right.
move we approve the proposed written decision as presented.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any last discussion before a vote? Okay, Drew,
Aye.
Haley.
Sorry. Aye.
Let me wait until you have a
My bad.
mouthful of something. Bryce?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. So that passes unanimously. Again, thank you to staff for getting that as clearly stated as you did. Okay, that is the end of our formal agenda. I'd like to move into reports. Haley, do you always have to go last or is it Bryce? Who goes last?
I usually always go last, so I'm happy to go
Okay,
first.
I'm going to let you go first and then you
groovy.
can
Love
go
it.
second.
So last Thursday we had our first quarterly iteration of the by city, by county, by university meeting. Topic was water. Bright and early at 7 a.m. I got there around 7:30 after a work call, but it was there's no wrong time to talk about water. And even though there wasn't a whole lot of new information to me, which I realize I'm fortunate to have been following this for a while, it was refreshing and always needs to stay front of mind. Had a Transportation Commission meeting later that day. The Daily News did run an article about a proposal that from COAST, which is the Council on Aging Transportation. I can't remember what the S stands for. Maybe
Me neither.
sustainable. They're based out of Colfax. They had a deadline today today's Monday. A deadline tomorrow to apply for some grant money through Washington State. They were seeking some approval. There is a monetary ask that comes with it, and so I think that's part of what Amy was sitting in on the Transportation Committee meeting, and I know we do support public transit, but I know that with the financial ask, we may have some additional questions. So that's one of the main things that was covered at the Transportation Committee meeting. We'll be tabling on Saturday at the Farmers Market. If anyone wants to come do some cool interactive sticker mapping things, we want to maybe map what you see as problem intersections and things like that. So we'll get some cool community input. Been very busy with smart transit activities. We've got an offer out for a new executive director. And so hopefully by our first October meeting, I can share the good news. And then last Thursday, I think it was Thursday. Thursday was pretty hectic. Moscow Chamber of Commerce hosted in partnership with the College of Education at U of I, a really cool public educator thank you event. We don't have as many new teachers to the Moscow School District this year as we did last year, but there are still a few, and I've really appreciated kind of this unique approach to making sure that these teachers feel welcome in the community. So it was kind of a fun meet and greet event, and my mom's a teacher, so really value the craft. And I think that's it. So I also, if anyone knows where September went, please let me know.
I do have a question for you.
Yes, dear.
The Coast ask was for an intra-state, right? It was Pullman, Moscow. Right.
Yeah. So the grant that they are pursuing is WashDOT funded. They provided us with a study that I'm happy to email over. They had surveyed about like 1,900 people who were looking for input on if there's interest between Colfax and Pullman and Moscow. And there was a huge portion of those respondents who expressed interest in coming to Moscow. And so the letter of support was just saying, is there interest in it? The monetary ask did not have to come with the letter of support, but my concern is right now there is a 5% local match and they don't quite know where that 5% is going to come from. And so I think they were coming to gauge interest from Moscow. The other thing that I'm working through now that we will have a fully staffed smart transit organization. We have been talking for a long time about figuring out what we need to do to get the buses to the airport and using that as the handoff point. And there's a couple of hurdles we need to address. No one at the Transmission Commission had heard about this prior to them coming to us. It sounds like the nudge had been and suggested for them to come to Moscow first, in part because our transportation commission did happen to meet before council did. And so I think it's a noble cause. The Coast doesn't have buses. They don't have buses procured to be doing this in addition to what they're already seeing in the service area. So I've got some questions, but my role as liaison at the Transportation Commission was to listen and share that while council supports public transportation and better accessibility between our ever-connected communities, when it comes with a monetary ask now or later, because it goes from 5% local match up to 10%. If the grant is received for the first 2 years, it's 5. And then to extend, it goes up to 10. There is a financial impact. And while Moscow would benefit from that, I'm not quite sure what that looks like for Pullman, because I'm not sure why they would be enthusiastic about committing Pullman taxpayer dollars to send people to Moscow to shop. So I've got some questions. I do absolutely believe in public transit and accessible, affordable public transit. So I haven't seen anything beyond that, but there will be some more information with the draft letter of support, I think, coming our way in a bit. But the normal, for full context, everybody, if a commission receives an ask to sign on to a letter of support or something, if it comes with a financial obligation now or later, the flow of operations is that the commission can provide that recommendation with help from staff to council. But ultimately, since we're the ones who have to make any changes to the budget or amendments, a commission cannot sign on to a letter like that without council input. So it may seem kind of bureaucratic, but it's because we've got the power of the purse, I guess. And so that's kind of the order of operations. So for full disclosure, Coast is an entity who is based in Washington. They approached the city of Moscow to see if we were interested in signing on for this letter. The letter does not require money right now. However, there is interest in exploring that conversation between the entities. And for that reason, it'll eventually come to council for input.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the behind the scenes logistics. I hope that helps.
I can guarantee that we'll probably all have questions. I thought of 6 or 7 just sitting here.
And I don't have all the answers. So, so that's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you. Bryce.
Yeah, thank you. Great job, by the way.
Yeah, you're doing
Thank
great,
you.
Madam Mayor.
Watch out.
I know, I'm
Yeah.
scared now. Oh.
Okay. Just don't get out of line.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple weeks, but I'll start off by saying I meet with the Human Rights Commission tomorrow, and tonight they are hosting the United Against Hate Forum just right up the street at the 1912 Center. So I was there from about 6 to about 6:50, getting to hear a little bit of where that was going to go, and then bump down here. But it was packed. It was probably 100 to 150 people, and so to see the community show up like that was really inspiring and really encouraging. We had to get more chairs out, which was a good sign, which is great.
It's true.
And then, human rights tomorrow. United Against Hate is going on tonight. Last week at the Planning and Zoning Commission, we had a presentation by Nils Peterson from the Moscow Affordable Housing Trust. And it was a really informative presentation, really just exciting work that that trust is doing. And I would love it if we could schedule a time for Nils to give that presentation to full council the next couple of months, because I think it'd be really informative for us to hear what they're doing on the subject of affordable housing. I think that'd be really great. And then other than that, I went also to the all of the buys that Haley mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
I went to the breakfast last week as well. And again, it was really informative and just really inspiring to see these 6 different stakeholders all come together for issues surrounding water. Like, it's a really, really inspiring thing. And Paul that spoke mentioned someone that works for the city named Tyler Palmer. And he has a refrain kind of in these discussions where, what we do and what kind of this institution does is with PBAC, the Palouse Basin Aquifer Committee, it really will be a model for the states, for the United States, potentially for the globe, for the way that these 2 municipalities, these 2 states, these 2 universities, these 2 counties all work together to help solve issues surrounding water. So it's really inspiring work. It's really cool. And so the breakfast was really informative and a great way to start a long Wednesday. And then other than that, just 2 things, or one thing to put on everybody's radar. Moscow Oktoberfest.
Yep.
I always screw up pronouncing it.
You did great.
Is on September 29th. So that occurs downtown in the downtown corridor. And it's all ages. Clearly, you have to be 21 to consume and buy beer. But all ages, fun things going on. And the last couple of years, it just keeps getting bigger. Bigger, better, more fun. And it's such a great moment and great event for the community. And then the last thing, just because I would be remiss if I didn't mention how fun the University of Idaho Vandal football game was this weekend. And it was great to see the tailgate back in action. It was great to just see people get excited. And again, just kind of bring a visibility to the town and people from all over the region, all over the state coming up to Moscow for the football game. And that's exciting. And then the next game is October 5th, which is homecoming. So that will happen and more. And it is exciting to be in the mix with that. So that's all I got.
Redemption against Albany.
That was
That's how the
redemption.
December game should
That's
have gone. Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Davis.
Yeah. Also went to the quarterly talking about the aquifer water meeting. It was great and echo everything that's already been said. But I just think that we're lucky to have Tyler being engaged on this. He's very passionate and good at what he does, and so he's a good person to have on Team Moscow because there's lots of teams approaching this. So that was great. Also attended last week Pathways Commission 17th, so tomorrow. At what is it? What park is it?
It's not the
The
water
Berman
tower
Creek
park,
side
yeah.
one?
Yep.
Okay.
We're doing a walking tour, 5:00, and so if show up, there'll be some light refreshments. Folks have been working really hard on that. So more information on the city webpage if you'd like to attend. And nothing from the other commissions or things that I'm assigned to at this time. So
Okay.
it was a light couple weeks for me.
Good. That's nice to hear. It's not always the case. Okay. So I attended, and that was the one that I forgot last time. I talked about the tree commission because I have to
Big
talk about the
news.
tree commission. But I had space that I was going to go to the Fair and Affordable Housing Commission. And I will tell you, I did it. It was one of the most exciting meetings I've been to in a while with the Fair and Affordable Housing Commission. And I will tell you, our friend Nils Peterson has managed to energize the housing world for Moscow. And I really mean that, because we had Sojourners Alliance, we had Habitat for Humanity, and we had Moscow Affordable Housing Trust all in attendance. And they were there telling the commission what was going on. And every single one of the other two directors all highlighted the efforts and the keeping housing as the front of our brain kind of stuff that the Housing Trust had been doing. They attributed that to some of their success. And so it was really cool. And I'll just give you a couple highlights. Sojourners Alliance right now is at capacity. They have 8 and 15 is what, 23? They have 23 people in their housing right now, and they're full, and they're making plans for some, and granted, these are maybe bigger plans than right now than tomorrow, but they are making plans for a 30-bed building, and they guarantee they could fill it. So that's going on. They do, and there's a new executive director there. Good energy, good. Doesn't hear the word no. Probably doesn't like the word no any better than the rest of us. But really energetic and kind of new, fun ideas. Jennifer Wallace, the director of Habitat for Humanity, was there, and they are going to meet their goals, she hopes, of 2 homes built in 2024. One on Nursery Street here in Moscow, and then one in Palouse, Washington. That is giant. That's a giant accomplishment.
And can I just add,
Please.
she and her volunteer staff often have, might be Thursdays and Saturdays, if you and your friends are interested. There's a huge amount of community aid that has to go into making these Habitat homes a reality. So if you're ever interested, they often post in their newsletters and on social media about their sign-up opportunities. They will train you. you probably still have to sign a release so you don't sue them if you cut off your fingers or toes. But like, I think more than anything, it's about helping hang drywall and paint and things like that. So just wanted to chime in. It
Yeah.
takes a village. And so it's a great first date or team bonding activity.
Their recent expansion, I don't know if you've noticed, they moved from kind of that one small part to in and back around in their new space. And that is their largest funding source for the houses that they build. And they did say, start signing up for volunteer opportunities. They can put you to work for sure. They're working on a home repair program that's coming up soon. They're partnering with the Affordable Housing Trust. And I will tell you, I was just really impressed. There are a couple times. So we're going to do the Water Summit on the 1st of October. On the 5th, there is a home ownership resource fair in Pullman at the Gladish Auditorium from 1 to 4 that you want to go to. That's kind of cool. It will highlight all of these 3 entities I've been talking about. The next day, there's an open house for the 4 houses coming onto the market for the Affordable Housing Trust. And I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly or not. Well, I don't want to then. There's a really, really reasonable asking price for these houses. Really, really, really reasonable. And I don't want to steal Nils's thunder. So 1st, 5th, 6th, and then the end of the month, right before Halloween on the 26th, is the UI student open house for their house that they're building with the Affordable Housing Trust. So there's buzz everywhere, and it's really exciting. And it's I don't know, it was just one of the best meetings, well, next to the Tree Commission, that I have been to in a long time. I will have a PBAC communications subcommittee meeting tomorrow afternoon. And that's starting to kind of re-engage and reinvigorate the stakeholder groups from the communities. I like the idea of a walk, but I don't know if I can fit it into tomorrow. I would love to go for a walking tour of the community. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Mr. Belknap, how about
Nothing from
staff?
this evening.
Nothing from staff. Okay. Are you ready? I say we adjourn. Meeting is adjourned, 7:37.